Welcome to Sports City. I'm Simon Preston. So, on this channel, we've spoken about football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, lacrosse, squash, many different sports. And today we're going to talk about a Jamaican sports team that will be heading to the 2022 Rugby Sevens World Cup, which is slated for Cape Town, South Africa, and it's set to run from September 9 to 11. That tournament will be Jamaica's second appearance at a Rugby Sevens World Cup. This qualification was done at the Rugby Americas North Sevens Championship, which was held in the Bahamas back in April. April 24, 2022 was a day that no Jamaican should ever forget, as it was the day that Jamaica's Rugby Sevens team became Jamaica's first male sports team to qualify for 2 senior World Cups. This was something that has not been matched by the Reggae Boys to date, amongst many other team sports. The one the sports team that has matched Jamaica's Rugby Sevens team, which came after April 24, was Jamaica's men's lacrosse team. So that is where things are at this point in time. So we'll just have to wait and see if other sports team will be able to follow there too. But the thing is, Jamaica's Rugby Sevens team are the trendsetters, and they are the leaders where this is concerned. So let us see if they'll be able to replicate, continue, move on, and make the strides. So the latest as it relates to Jamaica's Rugby Sevens team is that with the World Cup so fast approaching, as it relates to the actual squad, the 12-member squad, the latest is that the squad will be announced next week. The 12-member team will be announced next week, and it'll be intriguing to see the balance of the squad that will head to Cape Town, South Africa. The only player that I believe is a definite no for the trip will be Conan Osborne. Conan Osborne, the captain of the Jamaican team, he picked up an injury at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, which was in July, early August rather, as he picked up the injury in the placement stage of the competition. I believe it was either against Malaysia or Sri Lanka, which was, Jamaica's only victories within the competition. But he's been a warrior in the program for the last 9 years, and I'm sure he'll be working towards a speedy recovery to be part of Jamaica's squads for future tournaments, future round sevens, and potentially 2023, where Jamaica would have to compete in a round sevens tournament, Pan American Games, Central American Games, and who knows, probably an invitation on the World Rugby Sevens series. So how did Jamaica qualify for the World Cup? Well, let's have a recap of some of Jamaica's results in the competition, and we take it from there, shall we? That's exactly what we're going to do. So Jamaica, as we know, the qualifiers took place in Bahamas, and basically the 2 finalists would qualify for the World Cup. So Jamaica in Pool B, the Curacao team, they led Jamaica early on with a 7-0 lead in that first half, but the Jamaica stormed back and to win 34-7. And then against Guyana, they defeated Guyana 34-0 on that same day. On the next day of the competition, this is where things started to intensify a bit, and Jamaica had a little bit of scare in the quarterfinals, because at one stage, the Jamaican team were trailing the Cayman Islands 14-5, and this was in the second half. In the second half, the Jamaicans were trailing the Cayman Islands 14-5, but guess what? Jamaica stormed back into proceedings and won the game 22-14. And in the semifinals, they defeated Bermuda 24-5, and in the final, they fell 29-12 to Canada. You could say the progress has been made coming up against the Canadian team, who are a Tier 1 Rugby Sevens playing nation. If you go back to the 2019 final, Jamaica fell 40-5 to Canada, and then on the World Rugby Sevens series, Jamaica fell 40-14 to Canada, and now they fell 29-12 to Canada. So the gap is getting tighter and tighter as it relates to the scoreline. Just 17 points between the 2 teams, and I'm sure the next time both teams meet, Jamaica will be brimming and looking to chomp at the bit to ensure that they can get a victory against the Canadian team. And as a result of finishing within the top 2, not only did Jamaica qualify for the Rugby Sevens World Cup, but they also qualified for the Commonwealth Games, which we spoke about as well. Did you also know that Jamaica has competed at an under-20 Rugby World Cup? Yes. In 2008, they competed at the IRB Junior World Rugby Trophy, which took place in Santiago, Chile. And Jamaica took on Georgia, but fell 90-3. They took on Uruguay but fell 82-0, and they took on South Korea but fell 55-17. And in the seventh place playoff, Jamaica fell 54-15 to the Cook Islands. So Jamaica finished eighth in that tournament. As it relates to the Rugby Sevens World Cup, Jamaica plays in the pre-round of 16 clash on Friday, September 9, and this will be against Scotland. This match will be at 2:51 a.m. Jamaica time. So that will be the time of the encounter against Scotland at 2:51 a.m. Jamaica time against Scotland. What will happen if Jamaica defeats Scotland? Well, basically what will happen if they can defeat the Scottish outfit is that Jamaica will face the defending champions, New Zealand. They would face New Zealand if they can defeat Scotland. So that is a match that they'll be keenly anticipating and look forward to if they can get over the line and defeat Scotland. So that will be Jamaica's first game of the tournament. And just a recap of how Jamaica did at the 2018 edition of the World Cup. Jamaica finished 24th overall. They took on France, they took on Hong Kong, they took on Papua New Guinea, and they took on Zimbabwe within the competition. Now, if Jamaica failed to get past Scotland, then they would head to the bowl quarterfinals, where they would be searching to finish at best in the competition 17th overall. That is where they would be looking to be if they don't get the victory in that particular encounter. So if they were to fall in that encounter, then they would play the loser of the Kenya versus Tonga encounter. So, but Jamaican people, they'll be confident, brimming, and chomping at the bit to ensure that they can get a victory. So, Sport City fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this, and don't forget to subscribe.